Member of Parliament Monty Chinkoli has clarified that the 25.7 million Kwacha Constituency Development Fund has no provision for student loans who are in higher institutions of learning. Mr. Chinkoli says the 20% allocated towards the secondary boarding schools and skills development bursary scheme from the CDF has only been extended to benefit those in skills training institutions and not colleges and universities. Meanwhile, according to the CDF guidelines, that application for skills training bursary shall be submitted together with an admission or acceptance letter from any TVETA accredited public or private institution or the Zambian National Service.
Sunday, 13th February 2022, Camnet television aired a story in which a University of Zambia student could not report at the institution due to lack of financing.
I was admitted into the university and I also applied for student loan, but I was left out due to I don't know some reasons. So I'm appealing to the government or to any well-wisher to help me out, to help me achieve my dreams as a medical doctor. I applied in the School of Natural Sciences.
The story, however, caught the attention of many viewers who suggested that the girl should be taken to the area member of parliament so that she can be supported through the loan and grant financing facilities under the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). However, Kanyama member of parliament Monte Chinkoli, when contacted for a comment, told this reporter that there is no provision in the Constituency Development Fund which supports persons in higher institutions of learnings such as universities and colleges. According to the MP, the 20% allocated towards the secondary boarding schools and skills development bursary schemes from CDF has only been extended to benefit those in skills training institutions and the Zambia National Service.
There is this misconception of people thinking that if my child goes to Unza, CBU, for example, they are supposed to be to benefit from the CDF under bursary. That is no. The bursary is extended, other than the grade 12, is extended to those institutions that are under TVETA. Those institutions that are providing, skills like Lusaka Trades and a few other institutions. Those are the ones that are supposed to come to the constituency and apply for the CDF.
And Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Garin Kombo has guided in the CDF guidelines that the application for the skills training bursaries shall be submitted together with an admission or acceptance letter from a TVETA accredited public or private institution or the Zambia National Service. This means that only those who are at skills training institutions are eligible for bursaries under CDF and not those in colleges and universities. Members of the general public have since been advised to read the CDF guidelines to avoid misinformation. Prudence Jota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Stakeholders have rejected the recommendation by the European Union Election Observation Mission to scrap off the Grade 12 certificate requirement for office bearers. Patriots for Economic Progress President Sean Temple says the recommendation is retrogressive, suggesting it could work at the local government level. Meanwhile, electoral expert McDonald Jipenzi says the country needs educated leaders, adding that a grade 12 certificate is a minimum requirement that many citizens have and continue to acquire. He says going forward, the country must begin to discuss a degree as a minimum requirement at parliamentary and presidential level.
Leading people or standing in front is not easy, especially in a country where English is an official language.
Now is the time to work. We must serve the people of Mbala with respect.
The 2021 general election was a heated one, with a number of dynamics being witnessed during the poll, which saw the United Party for National Development, UPND Hakainde Hichilema, emerge victorious, taking over from Patriotic Front, PF's Edgar Lungu. The European Union Election Observation Mission made some recommendations following the holding of the August 12 general election, among them the proposal to scrap off the grade 12 requirement to make it easy for parties to find candidates. Zambians prescribed this requirement to improve the quality of leaders and debate in the National Assembly and council meetings, among other platforms. The quality of leaders has always been a matter of concern.
If you cannot support the president, the one who is producing money, because he's the one who can sign, can you sink a dam, can you drum a dam, it's only the president.
And electoral expert McDonald Chipenzi says the grade 12 requirement must be maintained.
Us, I think we feel that is not the right way to go, especially in the second millennium. Everyone is aspiring to have educated population, and if we, on one hand, we are giving free education, on the other hand, we are saying no, even if you are not educated, you can aspire for office. I think that is a contradiction.
He adds that the country must start talking about increasing qualifications at parliamentary and presidential levels.
Education qualification should actually be upped, increased, especially at parliamentary level. We don't want people who go into parliament who cannot even read, who cannot even pronounce the word like procrastination. They will start crack. We don't want such people who will be speaking like frogs in parliament. We want people who are able to articulate issues, people who are able to study these voluminous documents that are at parliament, people who can research, and not just from say yeah you go to the bar, and then from the bar you become a rumpen, and then tomorrow you say I'm an MP. No.
We also spoke to Patriots for Economic Progress leader Sean Tembo.
Candidates at presidential level as well as parliamentary level have a huge task that they need to execute in terms of formulating laws and, of course, running the affairs of the nation. It is from the pool of members of parliament, remember, where ministers are appointed. And so if we are going to have people holding such levels of responsibility, they need to have certain minimum, qualifications. And therefore the grade 12 requirement is appropriate at parliamentary and presidential level.
He, however, believes that there can be an exemption of the grade 12 certificate requirement at local government level.
However, when you look at a councillor and the duties of a councillor and the responsibilities of a councillor, you realize that a councillor is more of a community leader. And we do not believe that for someone to be a community leader, they need to have certain minimum qualifications. They do not.
They say democracy is about tolerating divergent views. Patrick Soko, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Western Province Minister Capello Bagweta has challenged companies legally harvesting timber in various parts of Zambia for furniture purposes to exercise social corporate responsibility by supporting the education sector in those areas. The Western Province Minister says this should be done in support of the new administration's aspiration that no pupil should sit on the floor, stating that this is still the case in many public schools, despite these areas being rich in timber. He was speaking when receiving 50 school desks valued at 42,500 kwacha for Agape and Mukashelo community schools of Kyeyema constituency in Western Province from a local company sourcing its timber from the province.
Our competitive advantage, one of them is timber, rosewood particularly. So what we are expecting is that that timber would be exploited lawfully, and that the local people will also participate in that business. And the part of our approach is that, for example, the making of desks where this timber is coming from should be done in the constituencies themselves. So, for example, if that timber was cut from Kaoma, we would expect that the desks are made in Kaoma. The local people, the youth, participate in that arrangement so that they value both for the local communities and also the schools.
In other news, the Supreme Court has overturned the liquidation of the Post newspaper as it was illegal. Delivering judgment Thursday morning, Chief Justice Mumba Malila has since ordered the Lusaka High Court to restart the liquidation proceedings of the company with the view of ensuring compliance with the relevant legal provision is followed. The court has also ordered the provincial liquidator Lewis Marshall be joined to the said proceedings and make an account, even though he may have finished selling the assets of the defunct newspaper.
After 6 years of non-operational and fighting legal battles, the Supreme Court has given a landmark judgment Thursday, the 17th of February 2022, in which it has declared that the liquidation of the Post newspaper limited was illegal. Chief Justice Mumba Malila, who read the judgment on behalf of other judges, has also ordered that the Lusaka High Court reopen the liquidation proceedings of the Post newspaper with a view of ensuring compliance with the relevant legal provisions. This is in a case in which 5 former Post newspaper employees, among them Abe Mbozi, Andrew Chwenda, Roy Hambalu, Bonaventure Walia, Mwendaba Emwene, and the Zambia Revenue Authority applied that the Post newspaper limited be closed on account that it had no capacity to pay its creditors. The 5 workers had applied before court that the Post had failed to pay them their salaries and emoluments amounting to 815,000, while ZRA claimed that the media institution failed to discharge its tax obligations. With the court having heard these submissions, Lusaka High Court Judge Sunday Konde then appointed lawyer Lewis Marshall as the provisional liquidator of the Post newspaper in 2016, who then entered a consent order for the closure of the company. Not satisfied with the lower court's ruling, the Post newspaper then appealed to the Court of Appeal against the said decision. Unfortunately, the appeal was struck out. Still determined, Post Managing Director Dr. Fred Membe then appealed to the Supreme Court against the said decision, where judgment this morning was delivered, with the Supreme Court in its further judgment ordering that Post provisional liquidator Lewis Marshall be part of the proceedings when the case restart before the Lusaka High Court. We wait to see how this case will unfold when it commences before the lower court. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Stakeholders reject the EU proposal to scrap off grateful requirement for politicians. The Supreme Court overturns the liquidation of the Post newspaper. Those were the headlines. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.